Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the new year if you haven't already seen any of the videos for the new year. Now this time we're working on a few MOT fixes because unfortunately several of the cars take MOTs this early in the year. I'd rather not be doing work because it's very cold here in the UK at the minute, but we need to check a few things over. Handbrakes are the main thing to check. First thing to solve is we've got a light out, and I can't remember if I've actually done this before or not. I've shown you how. There's 3 points to undo on the Corsa light. One which you need an extension socket down there, one on the top, and there's one hidden somewhere here, so you have to pop this part of the bumper off. Now if I remember, there's a couple of little they're sort of hex things that sit on the arch here, and if we can undo those then we can just pop this out and that should work. Let's give this a go. Take this one off. And the one at the bottom, which will give us the most flexibility. Okay, I've got those two out. By the way, I'll show you my Christmas present off my wife. This fantastic little wheelie kneel seat thing. Hopefully help my old legs and back whilst doing out car things. There we go. That pops open, and the bolt that I'm looking for is just here. There you go. So I can just get into that one on the top and one down that recess. We'll pop the light out. It's not that easy, but it's the only way to do the bulbs really. Now whilst trying to get this one out here, you can see, or you might be able to see, I've dropped it there, so I'm going to use another Christmas present that I got off my pal Ali, which is quite a nice torch actually, with a really strong magnet on the bottom of it, which I'm going to use to try and get that bolt, but also telescopic and adjustable torch. So thanks for that, Ali. That's as always really useful on the channel if you want to look. It's a hinge shark. I'm not sure, I think it came from Amazon. So another useful little Christmas present. Did the job perfectly, that, look. Nice strong magnet. I do hate how you've got to take this out. I don't know if you can actually see me. Let me try and turn the camera and show. So I've got a knee holding a bit of the bumper out. There is a little bit of flex, and then moving the light forward, and actually I can now get at the back enough to do what we want. And you can see the cap on the back, so I'll get the bulb changed. Well, the handbrake seems to be working okay. Did a check, jacked one side up, pulled the handbrake on about 5 clicks, and the wheel was solid. Swapped, did that on the other side, all good. I've actually tightened, I'll show you what I've done, just a little bit of tension. You just pop this out like this, and there's the tensioning. Now obviously that applies both sides equally, so if you do have one that's more or less, you'll have to adjust back at the brake discs, back at the brake drums themselves, but in this case it was fairly equal, so quite happy with that. Handbrake is okay. I think most of the other MOT checks are all okay on this car. Let's just turn the ignition on. We've got an INSP, which is just the inspection light. I'll reset that actually. Let's get the code tools plugged in. But I'm not getting anything else. Oh, we've got an INSP 2, so we do have another bulb out somewhere. So I need to have a look for that. So an INSP 2 means that there's a bulb out. I did replace the one at the front there, but we must have something else. Let's go and have a look. I think I've spotted it, and I think I remember this being a problem on this car before. So you can see I've got the dipped beam on. You've got this, which is the dual. That's the 2 bulb that's got the brake light built into it. And then you've got this, which I think is just the standard light. We'll go across to the other side. Difficult because it's quite bright, but you can see, so that one's on, that one's not. Now I'm fairly sure I changed the bulb in that. So let's get this out. It's fairly easy. You just pop the side off, and inside, I've actually taken them off already. These little spinners that you unscrew, 2 of them, and then you can see the light assembly just pulls out, and then we can take a look. So let's take a look and see what's going on in here. Well, you'll notice that the lights are back on and they're actually all working. What I had to do is I swapped a few of the bulbs around, and here's a little note. It seems like the Corsa is really picky which bulbs you put in. So this bulb here is an interesting one. I said that it's got the 2 filaments inside, but it's only got 1 electrical connector, so it'll only ever use 1. So why did Vauxhall design it like that? You're wasting a bulb. Anyway, the top bulb is dual function. It goes on dim with your side lights and bright as your brake light. So that's your brake light, the top. That one there is purely side lights, obviously indicator, reverse. Doesn't have a fog on left hand side, it does have a fog on the right. So really confusing, but that bulb is very important, the type of bulb, because it seems like until it has the right bulb, it will not light up properly. So swapping them around makes sure that they're working right. So then, hopefully, that's our Corsa ready for MOT time. Checked everything else out, and I think we're all okay there. Fingers crossed. I'll try and get it in MOT this week, and I'll probably put an update either in the comments or later on in the video on the Corsa. And now on to the second handbrake of the day. We want to have a look at the Nissan Juke handbrake because it's a bit wobbly. I'll show you what we've noticed. It's up quite high, it looks okay. We are on a bit of a hill, so we'll just let it catch. Oops. Try not to let it turn the engine over. So it does have a little bit of a play. I'm not sure if there's much I can do about that because that's to do with the ratchet, but what we can do is take this off, take a look, and I think maybe just check just to make sure that the handbrake's working okay. Let me get the front wheels chocked first though. Let's just see. Looks like this just clips in. Yep, that clips in, so we can take that off. Doesn't really give us access to anything. I can't see where the adjuster is. It looks like there's this other cover here. Oh no, I've just spotted the adjuster hiding right down there. Now actually, that hole there, I could probably get a long socket on that. Let's do that. Get it adjusted, and let's have a look at the rear adjusters. What I've done is I've loosened that off. What was that on? That was on an 11mm deep socket. So I've undone that a few times, which has slackened it off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the wheel off, because there's an adjuster hole somewhere behind there that we can then adjust the positioning on each of the wheels. So I'm going to take the wheel off and we'll take a look. Okay. We've got the jack under, we've got the axle stand as well, just for safety. Let's just take a look. Remove the rubber grommet. Aha, right, I see. Try not to lose it inside, maybe pliers are a better idea here. Like that. Now we turn the disc until we can see the adjuster in the hole. The chances of the camera being able to see this may be fairly slim, but the inside is one of those little cogs, and I'm just going to use a flat screwdriver to twist it, to turn it, to make the adjustments. Why has nobody come up with a better way of doing this? Because there's two things here. One is that it's really difficult to feel your way in and get the right position. The other thing is, how do you know you're turning it the right way? I mean, at some point it will start to bite and it'll start to bind, which is what we're aiming for. But that's assuming I'm turning it the right way. Because depending on which orientation, it'll either be clockwise or anti-clockwise. Oh, okay, there we go. So, for reference, we are on the rear passenger side, the left-hand side of the vehicle. I have been pushing the cog up over, like that. So pushing the top of the cog in, which has been expanding the adjuster. So the adjuster is on the inside, and as you turn the cog, it pushes out over because it's a drum brake inside, and that has now locked. So now what I want to do is back it off a few, because we want it to spin freely. I think it could probably do with a little bit more than that. Let's go a little bit more. One, two, three. Okay. That feels free. So I'm happy with that. And now what we do is we go and pull the handbrake on to the point we want it to lock. Now that's starting to bind close enough, and the handbrake isn't miles up. Let's just drop it down and make sure, is it releasing? No, it's not releasing, so we need to reduce it a bit more here and then use the adjuster in the car to get the rest of it right. Just a little hint, you know, I said about this rubber grommet here. Yeah, when I was pushing it in, it fell inside. So a pair of very fine pliers is quite important to be able to get that back out again. So I'm going to get this wheel back on again, go and do the same on the other side, and then we can adjust inside the car on the handbrake adjuster itself. And just to finish this video off, so what I've done is I've adjusted it a little bit more. Let me just put my foot on the brake, and you can see now it doesn't have a lot of slack to it, which is good. It doesn't need to go up quite as high to catch. Now what I'm going to do is let's just start the car up. So what I can do is I can move it backwards and forwards a little bit and just feel how the handbrake's holding. Let's just see. Okay, the car's rolling nicely. That's good. Oh, camera's gone. Let's now put the brake on. There we go, and that's holding really quite nicely. I can feel that we are a little bit one-sided still. I can feel when, well, annoyingly, the battery on my GoPro ran out just as I was talking through the final bit. So all I did there, it's actually a size 10mm socket that I used on that, wasn't the 11. All I did was tensioned it back up again, made sure that we get enough clicks that it feels in the right place. It also removed the wobble. When it was down flat, it had quite a wobble on it. It seems to have removed that as well, which is good. And just backing on the driveway, it's useful that the driveway is on a little bit of a hill. I managed to check that it was holding okay and releasing. It does feel like the brakes aren't quite balanced, so I do think I need to adjust the left passenger side one a little bit more, but I think for now that's going to be a lot better. I've just clipped the cover back over again, and that sorted the brakes out on our Juke as well, so that's not a bad day fiddling about with brakes, just checking that everything is all okay with those two. Hope you've enjoyed this brief video, just a small one this time, but we'll be continuing on with some more car projects. We've got a load of boxes hidden away off camera there that need to be got on with. So that'll be coming up very soon. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up. It really helps promote the videos, helps me out on the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.